Hi, hello, welcome to the Oracle Counselorship brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Losi. I'll be your Oracle today. This is going to be Ratchet Protocols, which means, first of all, the sound in the video is kind of janky. That'll reconcile itself whenever it's time. I'm also, I call it Vaseline voice. There's a vocal fry right now. Ratchet Protocol could also be cursing. So I'm trying to figure it out, put some ideas in the show notes. I'm not really into lowering oneself to make it more accessible for the lowest common denominator, but if something comes out, then it comes out. I think I'm just gonna put like that little 18 plus symbol in the description. I prefer it to be the crystal ball because it is a channeled message. And the crystal ball stands for Oracle Counselorship. Anyways, long story short, we're gonna talk about bendejas. Okay, I don't know. We're just gonna see what the energy is. Okay, so I just heard cabrones are gonna get exposed. All right. And I cut the deck to the 6 of Wands and the Sun card. I'm just gonna shuffle there. You know, when I'm around, the tower is around. I am the tower. It's scary to most people, and it can be very hurtful because things get destroyed, but really it gets destroyed in the lower realms and the higher realms. It's something that wasn't built on a spiritual foundation gets dismantled. Okay, so we have the Lovers card with the Sun card. So that's the third heaven. I'm hearing the word Indraloka, but I normally say something else. Okay, so my brain went away. I don't know. We're just gonna channel here. Yeah, so this is somebody attacking. The Chariot and the Tower card, that's an attack. Especially with the 9 of Wands there, that's an attack. And they're attacking love, beauty, fortune. We're blessed and chosen. It's in our left hand. So that's what we came with already. It's what we innately possess. I'm gonna mute just for a quick second. I'm not even gonna pause. I'm just gonna mute. I'm coming to you on an empty stomach. Okay. So what I'm picking up is somebody is doggedly upset, doggedly competitive, doggedly wanting a fight because we remind them of qualities in themselves that they don't possess. We're receiving some kind of favor, fortune, blessing, or whatever, and it's putting them in some type of complex. Probably the knock word is coming. Well, that was a mic drop. They are, I'm trying to use that word less. So that word is a part of a category called antagonistic personality style. Now that the narc word is on a spectrum, and so is the antagonistic personality style. So the antagonistic personality style, it starts out on the side of high conflict, and then the other side of the spectrum is toxic. And then, you know, once you go past toxic, it can be malignant, and then once you go past malignant, it could be malevolent. Okay, and this antagonistic personality style, the more progressed side of the spectrum, nasty side of the spectrum, it's plagued by a rigidity and a maladaptive aspect to its nature, which means a person is set in their ways. They're somewhat pathological. It may be easier for them to be a piece of shit than it would be for them to grow up and go, you know, get up and get some, meaning improve themselves. So, you know, when you go past that little part of the spectrum, you start to get into what you call the sociopath. And this is also an antagonistic personality style. but you reintroduce, because a really malignant narc, there's an aspect of their nature where it's no longer covert, it's now out in the open. You can sense it, you can smell it, you can feel it because you're wounded by it. And then once you get deeper, you leave away the narc, because narcs are actually very weak, very insecure. They need a special kind of loving and a special kind of patience. And not everybody's going to give it to them because everybody's kind of needy already. Everybody's healing from their wounds. Most of us wouldn't be here if we didn't have wounds to heal from, because we'd be healed, not healing, we'd be healed. And if we're healed, we're whole. And if we're whole, we're holy. And if we're holy, we get to merge back into the divine. Does that make sense? So after you deal with the narc, then you're dealing with a sociopath. I'm sorry to use that word. But see, a baby sociopath is actually what you call a neurotic sociopath. That's the lower end of the spectrum. And sociopaths typically don't have a lot of emotions, mostly rage, anger. Does that make sense? Not guilt, not shame, not remorse, but they know rage, they know anger. But those are the only emotions they kind of register. And then that's the neurotic sociopath, which is like an extra malignant, okay, narcissist. And then once you get deeper into the sociopath spectrum, you're just dangerous. But a sociopath is easier to detect than a psychopath, okay? Unless the psychopath doesn't have an awareness of reality. I don't understand that. I'm not a clinician right now. But I do know that when you enter into the baby aspect of the psychopath, you have like kind of like the baby narcissist, usually covert, something like that. Well, the baby psychopath is called disorganized. Okay. So the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath is a sociopath is going to react right there. Okay. And they care about what happens in society. They look like everybody else, but they don't act or feel like everybody else. Typically, they're missing emotional connections, and it's not that they lack empathy, it's that empathy doesn't register the way it registers in other people. Now, the psychopath is just like the sociopath, except they don't have a conscience at all. They don't care about fitting in. The only reason why they're trying to fit in is so they can go longer without detection. Does that make sense? And for some reason, this is relevant. I'm not a clinician. You need to get your own guidance, use your own judgment, practice your own discernment. And, if you are dealing with a situation where you're in harm or you have a need, please go to a practitioner, somebody licensed or something of that nature. Just take the model that I've given you and kind of go to somebody else and have them fill in the blanks, fill in the gaps, and apply it to your current situation through their clinical experience, expertise, and advisory. Okay. I don't know why this is relevant. I don't know why this is coming through. These are not things I like to talk about, especially in an open arena, but I just want to repeat, okay? We have what's called a antagonistic personality style. That's all of them. That's the narcissist, both covert and overt, or covert and malignant. We have that's also included in the sociopath, which typically, oh, and I didn't mention the psychopaths. They're just like the sociopath, but worse because they don't have a conscience. So they're not going to really care about consequences. When they get caught, they're not going to show remorse at all. When a sociopath gets caught, what happens is they show regret. It's not real remorse. Remorse, you feel with or without consequences. Regret is typically related to consequences. Now, there's, of course, particulars. So that antagonistic personality style, which is predicated by two things, the spectrum is as such. You have high conflict and toxic. So toxic is more predicated upon the maladaptive, rigid nature to this demeanor and this personality style. Now, everybody can have traits, all right? I'm very, it takes a very high bar to be met for me to engage, okay? And I'll tell you to your face without regard for your feelings of why I won't fuck with you. All right. But I'm not full of myself. And humility is awareness of one's own ignorance. Okay. So we all have traits in some kind of way. All right. For a long time, I didn't understand why certain things would happen in social relationships because I couldn't imagine, I couldn't fathom, I wasn't putting myself in other people's shoes. All right, we all have traits, okay? But sometimes because your thoughts affect your actions affect your results reinforce your thinking. And your thinking is a part of your beliefs. And if you don't know how to shift around your beliefs, you need to look at your conditioning and program. So these narcissistic people are, or what we call antagonistic personality styles, they have so many traits where now it's their style. Because you can have one or two bad traits, one or two narcissistic traits, one or two toxic traits. But when you have 5, 6 plus, because there's usually about 16, depending on who, what clinician, you know, what school of thought, what clinician you're going to, there's about 16. Okay, so 1/4 of these traits would be four different traits, and you're 25% something. Okay, so 5 or 6, you're past the 30%. Does that make sense? Which means 1 out of 3 occurrences are going to end in some kind of toxic outcome. Do you hear what I'm saying? So that's when you start to apply the label to a person of whatever it is on this antagonistic spectrum. Is that making sense? Okay. Now, we have this antagonistic personality style or an antagonistic personality trait. An antagonistic personality trait can be found in everybody. You typically find a lot less of them in people that are lame, retarded. I'm saying that for lack of a better word, because to me, mentally challenged or physically challenged, there's a delineation. Autistic, Asperger's, typically you'll find less traits in those people. The one trait that you do find is a lack of empathy. But the key difference with those people is that when they do, it might take a minute, it might take a long while, years, but once they figure out that they've harmed another person, there's a pendulum swing. They're overcorrecting, they're very apologetic, they're hypervigilant about preventing the outcome in the future. And then you get into the part of the spectrum where you have what's called like a covert narcissist. These are insecure people, okay? They're actually very vulnerable. And that's the difference between vulnerable and invulnerable. Are you vulnerable to feedback? Are you vulnerable to critique? Now, there's also an infallibility. Any narcissist is infallible. Now, some of them use their fallibility to gain more supply. And ultimately, it's that we possess characters and qualities that they don't possess. And they look at us and they see us winning in some kind of way. It could be a very sad story because we could just be waking up early in the morning, and that makes them jealous because they can't do it. It doesn't matter. Trying to understand this specific example is always futile, foolish, fruitless endeavor. Okay, because all we could do is understand the parameters. We can't understand the specifics because usually these minds are warped. They've gone through the world at war, mostly with themselves, and they come and vomit and shit all over everybody. Does that make sense? So these antagonistic personality styles on the low end of the spectrum is going to be high conflict. Insecure people that critique other people and that have a laundry list of reasons why their life isn't the way they want it, but they still can kind of show up emotionally, empathetically, connect. And then it only takes 1 or 2 extra traits for them to become in that narc field. Okay, and remember, there's a difference between personality trait and personality style. A personality style is an amalgamation of traits. Everybody has traits. For instance, you may be extroverted, that's a trait. You may be introverted, that's a trait. You may be studious, conscientious, direct, steadfast, that's a trait. You may be dismissive, flighty, flaky, those are all traits, okay? Great. Now, antagonistic personality style. On one side of the spectrum, you have this high conflict, right? It could be cursing under your breath at people. It could be a general disdain. These are the very mild, asocial, antisocial, right? It's not conflict disorder that's mostly in children, but that conflict disorder, conduct disorder is a foundation you build upon. So if you have conduct that goes against society and you like it, if you have conduct that goes against society and you predicate your life upon that, okay. So antagonistic personality style, we have the high conflict and then we have the toxic. Toxic means if you add too much of that energy in, it's going to make the person sick, have some kind of trauma. What is trauma? Trauma is an experience that goes past the level upon where you normally cope. Does that make sense? I'm a very healthy person. If I eat a donut, I'm going to have a spike in my sugar, right? But if I eat a donut and a banana and like a spoon of sunflower seed oil, I'm fine. But if I eat 5 donuts, I'm gonna have to take a sugar coat, like a sugar nap, right? So that's toxic for me. 5 donuts for me is toxic. We could argue that for anybody is gonna be toxic. I have a friend who's a runner. I run like 60 kilometers a week, about 40 miles. I have a friend, they run 22 kilometers a day. It's a half marathon a day. A half marathon is 13.1 miles. Okay. Homeboy eats half a dozen donuts in one sitting and he's completely fine. Me, that would be very toxic for me, but for him, it's fine. So toxic is one of those words which just, you need to make your own call. You know what I mean? You need to, and I'm using donuts because it's an arbitrary example. Like I'm saying, everybody possesses traits, but enough traits, usually more than 4 or 5, is now we have a personality style. Does that make sense? So narcissism is really a style of personality. Typically they're self-absorbed because they don't have the capacity to invite other people in, authentically, genuinely, and sincerely into their life. Now they can invite other people in, but it's normally only for supply. So it's a maladaptive, idiosyncratic, perfunctory, extemporaneous relationship. I don't need to go deep. Okay, so now let's go back all the way to the other side of the spectrum, the really malignant, malevolent side of the spectrum. You have sociopath, which is 2 sides of the spectrum. I don't know what the evil side of the spectrum is. Full blown, we call that stuff, but the beginning of the spectrum is called neurotic, but it's just past malignant narcissists, meaning if they can get away with it, they will. But they're always worried about getting away with it. That's sociopathic because they do have a conscience. They just don't easily feel emotions outside of anger, rage, etc. Okay. Now, then you get to the beginning side of the psychopath. Okay, well, these are people who don't have a conscience. And if they are taking into account anything, it's so that they can avoid detection. And at the beginning of that spectrum, it's called disorganized. And the thing about the main difference between, there's multiple, but the main difference between psychopath and sociopath, a sociopath is easier to detect, and it's usually nurture, which means personality. And then a psychopath is usually born, which means nature, which means we call that temperament. Okay, your temperament is pretty well formed by 2, usually 18 months. Okay, it's discernible after 3 years. And again, I'm not a clinician. I have to say that because YouTube is an asshole. Okay, so for some reason we got this little education today. I don't know what the purpose is. I'm so curious when we get into these cards. What this is gonna be, how this is gonna look. All right. So these are the antagonistic personality styles or the antagonistic personality spectrum, and this is the person that we're dealing with. So who knows how detectable they are, or who knows what's going on, or who knows what the particulars are, or, you know, you really just need to make a judgment call for yourself. Does this feel good? Yes or no? How does your body act? Is it flooded with hormones, adrenaline maybe? Do your bowels seize when you interact with them? That means we're having an issue. That means I put medicine on this way. That means we're having an issue. It's cannabis. We're having an issue with this person. If our body can tell us before our mind can't. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, so I'm hearing that Mariah Carey song, It's a Wrap. And when I was doing my prayers and meditation and my pre-channeling, I kept getting the world card, which could be It's a Wrap. But I was getting the world card and the sun card, which means we're graduating in some kind of way. We're accomplishing, we're kind of untouchable now for some reason. It could just mean that whatever worked before doesn't work now. All right. Okay. And girl, I got all of that from, I was cleaning just now. If my nails are dirty, I apologize. We got to continue. I did not want to come to the channel today. I really didn't. I needed a day or two. So all these three cards, the Chariot, the Tower, and Nova D. It's good. I keep hearing Bastioni. So this person's trying to beat us down. That means baton, Bastioni. So wands. And this is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck by Kim Krantz. So they're upset that we have favor and fortune, that we are beloved, that we're chosen. And they're dogged in some kind of way in the next couple of weeks or so, around the 21st through the 27th. They're gonna come through trying to get us to love. So here's the deal. They, for a while, targeted us. So for a while, they targeted us, okay? Yeah, this is the higher heaven. This is the divine realm. So this is where the benevolent ancestors are, the ascended masters, the guides, okay, the pure blissful beings. They targeted us for a while. I don't know the parameters on that. I don't want to know. We do have a response. Yeah, they targeted us for a while, a whole long cycle. They tried every single thing. They crossed every little thing off the list in an evil kind of way. They tried every tactic. And I'm feeling, because with these two energies, this is one of those naive people. This might as well be the Fool card. This is a person who's generous, gifted, kind, blessed. They always come with love. It's not even about right or wrong. This person is not perceiving things like that. All they're trying to do is love, and we're this person. The other side is toxic personality style. Somebody here could be a Virgo sun as well, with the Hermit and the King of Pentacles. Here in this deck, it's Father of Pentacles. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Densu, Data Tracy here. So I'm still hearing that song. If I ever misrepresented my self-image, then I'm sorry. I was also acquiescent, but I learned my lesson, and I'm sorry. That's us. So now this person wants to come in and apologize or get our love, because and I hope it's not just for more supply. Boom, boom, boom's all out in the open. Don't make me go call Maury Povich. Give me one more set. Let me catch my breath and collect my and regain my composure. But it's a wrap. It's a wrap for you, baby. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay. Six of Swords. So we're breaking through in some kind of way, but it's not a breakout breakthrough moment. We're being guided through a situation, because we're not going to try to compete. Yeah, so I don't know what, but this person was evil. With the Nine of Wands in the Tower, that alone is a person who wants to destroy you, period. With the Chariot, they consistently make multiple attacks. And there's some kind of cycle. See, nines talk about cycles. So there would have been some kind of cycle. Eight of Cups. So they had us confused in some kind of way. They were successful. We just came up out of that, I'm hearing. And with the Moon and the Eight of Cups, that we were in some kind of cycle where we were giving them supply in some kind of way, but the supply that they were getting was because they had done something to us that every time they looked at us, it made them pleased, like they had dominated us or punked us or, okay. And then Six of, say the naughty, I can't English, y'all, I'm so sorry. Say the naughty, Six of Pentacles. The tables kind of turned, it's just the scales balanced just a little tiny bit, okay? So they might have also been trying to breadcrumb us in some kind of way. What you want, baby? Hi, kiddo. We have a nosy kitty. So this is breadcrumbing. They were the one breadcrumbing. Okay, and they were breadcrumbing because they had some kind of vision for the future. They want us to come back. And when we left, they always thought they can get us back. My personal situation, I was with this person 7 years, and I told them, I said, we're at the point where now I'll only respect you when you're one of the ancestors. And what does that mean? I'm going to tell you the backstory in a sentence or two. How can I get your love and affection? I'm paraphrasing. You can hurry up and die, ho. And see, once I get to that point, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I love so hard. I love so hard so that when I go, I'm done. Okay? I'm done. And we're having this situation where they're surprised that I'm gone. They're surprised, but I told them, hey, I'm running out of trust. Hey, I'm running out of respect. Hey, I don't like you anymore. I'll always love you, but I ain't fucking with you now. And then they're surprised when all of a sudden there's no connection. I don't know if that person's loca or if they're diavolo, okay? Because when I tell you boundaries and standards, it's not so I can hurt you. When I say, hey, I didn't want to look at your message because I've been avoiding talking to you because I'm tired, I'm exhausted, you're a bit much. Or, you know, when you put down a boundary and a standard, it's not to hurt the other person, it's to protect the relationship. Hey, I'm still trying to fuck with you. Here are the parameters in which I'm willing to do that. And the other person perceives harm. People only don't like your boundaries if they can cross them. People only don't like your standards if they cannot meet them. So I feel in some kind of way, very innocently, we took a stand in some kind of way because we had gone through level of crap after level of crap after level of crap after level of crap. Okay, I am self-conscious about my nails. Girl, calm down. Ooh, I'm shook. Okay, let mama get back to story. So at level of crap after level of crap after level of crap after level of crap, we just for a while. This is a whole ass long cycle. Okay. When this is next to a non-timing pentacle, when the wand is next to a non-timing pentacle, it takes it to a year or plus. Okay. So it was a very long Prince of Pentacles. It was Knight of Pentacles. It was Cavalli Benati. It was a long time. It was a very long, slow, creeping process. And again, we had love, 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 love. That's the Knight of Cups. Okay. But we finally wised up and we had to be a boss. We had to, okay, so we have 3 knights here. This was war. We were at war, y'all. We were at war. These are 3 knights and the tower. That's war. That's war. We were at war and we didn't even know. Gosh, this sounds so like me. This is stupid fool. Coming in, rushing in for more abuse, trying to love on a person that wants to kill you. That's me. Okay. So there's something we have that they want. It might be our spiritual inheritance. It might be our celestial endowment. We might have built something. We might be about to receive something. Eight of Swords. They had us confused, restricted, bound. They had us in a stuck space. Whatever they did to us, they were able to successfully beat us for a while. And that was their supply. They had something of us, because this is them. They had something of ours that they were able to yield out of, and we weren't yielding out of our own thing. They were breadcrumbing us the whole time so we wouldn't know that there was a lack, so we wouldn't go look to make more, build more, or check into what was already ours. And so we were the root. We were the thing that created the abundance. Empress is creativity. And over this next 2-3 weeks, we're going to figure out what this abundance is. Oh, Dios mío. Four of Wands. So we have peace, happiness, bliss. They are mad mugging us because of the way we cultivate ourselves in this world. They think that they have more power over us, that we have power in our hands, and they're trying to get us to give them permission to take what's ours. So this person is jealous and wants to take or compete with us so that we either feel small or give up on what's already ours so that they can take it over. But that means that they can't build it themselves. That doesn't make sense. If you see somebody doing something you want to do, ask them to teach you. If I see somebody that's balling and bossing up and everything, I'd be like, girl, you so fly. Tell me your secret. Let me take you to lunch. Normally nachos. Hey, let's go get nachos, or go get a protein smoothie or something like that. Let me spend an hour and a half with you. There's a beautiful park over here, a big, huge park by my house. Let's go on a walk or whatever. I'll get juice for us. Or I'll get us an acai bowl and give me an hour of your time, or what you got going on. Let me make a referral or send somebody who can pay for your services and tell me how you got into the game. I don't need to complete, because if you are competing with somebody, it means you're comparing yourself to them. And as a runner, as a semi-professional athlete myself, you know that you compete with yourself, even if you are on the ranking boards, right? It's camaraderie, and I'll see runners that are out there that are a beast, just like tearing it up, okay? And I normally never get jealous. Sometimes I look at myself a little funny when it's somebody 20 years older than me and they're killing me, but it's like it's all good fun. I don't get out there and think, oh, da, 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 da. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you are trying to compete with somebody, it means you're comparing yourself to them. And that means that you lack qualities in yourself. And if you're sitting there marinating in venom, ruminating, oscillating, vacillating in hate, I don't want to finish that out loud. I ain't got nothing nice to say right now. So we're coming into awareness of the cycle. Okay, and we made a discovery of some kind here with the high priestess and the hermit, la ermitaña. Okay, the tables turn. So they started to shift a little bit, and then I'm hearing, hold them, hold tight. Yeah, you walk up in here, ain't no donuts, ain't no coffee. So you come at me with nothing, no ting, and you want something. All right, that's who you is, what you about. Now we know. All right, but 2 months ago or so, this person, their little things, their little bindings started to unravel. Okay, and now we have it as such that in about a week, no more than 2, something really nasty is going to come to the surface. It's already on the way. It might be a lot less than 2-3 weeks. Okay, it is findings, discoveries of some kind, but adverse findings. If it was the wand, it would be like, this is adjusting feedback, adverse findings. This is critique, scrutinization. This is also a finding that came out late. This could have been something that was withdrawn, withheld, and finally it emerges. Yeah, so we, and somebody here may also be a Leo rising or Venus in Aquarius. In that case, it's not so negative what comes out, but somebody may still be saying something. So it's, oh my, too messy. Pardon me. I just rearranged the room here, and I'm not used to everything. Okay, so I'm getting two different things, love. Um, so we have a situation here where something prickly is coming. There was a cycle in the background that was precarious, prickly, protracted in some kind of way. And the details of it, because some attack was in there, we might have not discerned or noticed it. It's gonna rise to the surface. I did get a timing indicator of 2 weeks after this past moon. So 2 weeks after this full moon that we had in Virgo, but then the Three of Wands came out, which cuts the time in half. So it could have been in as little as 3 days, it's coming. But then the Page of Swords came out with the Star card. So it did double confirm that this news was going to be nasty. It could be coming from a distance, it could be coming text message, email, at a distance, like a person in another zip code in another part of the country, in another part of the world. But it could also be, since the Star card and the swords, because Aquarius is, and then you have, it could be somebody with their Venus in Aquarius, or it could be somebody who's a Leo rising. That would be basically an Aquarius descendant. I can think of a few people right now. Okay, so it's same energy, different for different folks. If somebody has Aquarius or Leo energy, it might not be so horrible, whatever we figure out, but we're still going to figure out something that's unpleasant. And the modifier for the ones with Aquarius energy, mainly Aquarius rising, mainly Aquarius Venus or Leo rising. Okay. If you're not a Leo rising or you have your Venus in Aquarius, okay, but if you are Leo rising or in Aquarius, whatever comes out is going to be, it was delayed. It was a message that you could have gotten a year ago or 3 years ago, and now it's finally, there's no reason to not know. Okay, and it is going to be something that allows us to be guided through this prickly situation or break through. Okay, and it is going to give us some kind of feelings of overwhelm, because apparently for the last 3 days, I just heard for the last 3 days, some shit's been unraveling. Okay. This is shaking me to the core. I'm like Gestippefelter here. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, I'm code switching. I'm speaking Yiddish, Italian, and other languages. Okay, so it's, and I make up my own words too. Seven of Cups is telling me that when this news comes out, we will be able to break through, but also we're going to have a lot of emotions, or we're going to need to investigate a lot of things. We're going to learn all the rocks that weren't looked under because we were lied to, or we're going to see how many things got destroyed, and we're going to have to look at every single thing. We're going to have to go, and I'm not getting the accounting card because we heal after that. So we have a lot of feelings, and then we heal because we're now actualized. So this enemy thought that they did something to us, but what they really did is made us bigger, brighter, and better. They gave us extra blessings, and whatever they took away is going to come back tenfold, and it's going to come from them. Even if they don't give it to us themselves, the Creator is going to take it away from them. So this is the story here. I don't know what to say. I kind of want to end this and go cry in the bathtub, but grant me a moment, darling. All right, babe, I got to do some work here with you. Listen a moment. We have work to do. I hope this video does not go over 45 minutes. I want to eat. I really do. Okay. I had to let that out. All righty. Let's get this. Okay, so I had to call upon the divine because that's this pinche cabrona. Esa. All right. So moon cycles and take your power back. Okay, remember I was saying, I said something about the moon. So Archangel Raziel, use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. See, that's the thing. Ooh, mommy. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, so what I was detecting was that we were just coming with love. You know, got nothing but love for your baby. Ain't got nothing but love for your baby. We were just trying to love on this person. Okay. And we were coming with love, with grace, with blessings, with abundance, with hope, with faith, with optimism. And they was, but the Judas kind of way, because the Page of Swords did come out. That is a trifling, treacherous asshole. Seven of Swords means Judas, seditious, treasonous. Okay. But they're no longer being sneaky deaky. Okay, so they're no longer being backhanded, sideways, sneaky because they realize that we're undefeatable. And so the only way they can get anything from us, good, bad, or otherwise, is by coming in asking for love. And they're in love with us. Or now it might not be in love with us. They may be feeling very, very, very muy apologetic. You know, mi dispiace. They want to, they piacere, they want pleasure, they want harmony, they want forgiveness, they want ease, they want soothing. And no, niet, nine, nunca, nunca tenido, nunca un chao, nessuno. No, 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 no. Listen, ho, I'm gonna always love you and fuck you. Both of those at the same time. I love you and fuck you. Because I hate you. But you can only hate somebody that you love. And love is only the other opposite side of hate, which means hate brings things back into balance. It's the opportunity to restore. Okay. The reason I hate you so much is because I used to love you. Because I still love you and I ain't fucking with you. And I don't hate you. But the hate that I feel allows me the awareness and the wherewithal to recognize that something needs to be restored. And the justice here would be walking on, moving forward without your ass. That's what this be. Take your power back. That's what God just told me. And I don't call God God, I call God the Spirit. Mabusa Polisa. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. Me, I'm Vudun. I say the Spirit. We all say that. A lot of people in Orisha, they say, you know, Bandiu, Papa Bandiu. Yeah, so they're coming back for love, but they ain't got none. They're not holding nothing in hand. What an underwhelming, unimpressive, uninteresting, uncompelling hoe. I want to remain unbothered. Please stay away. So they're also going to come back in with some love, trying to get some love. So moon cycles, Archangel Haniel, and this was Archangel Raziel. I love Raziel. My name is Zafkiel, by the way, if you don't know. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestation cycles. Capitalize upon these cycles. Yeah. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. So they were doing that. They were creeping energy into our life through cycles and cycles and cycles. Every full moon, every new moon, they were doing something. What the heck was this little thrown up to? I think my mama came because the curse words I'm hearing is this how she cursed. Stank face coochie ass bitch. That's what. Hey y'all, I'm just channeling here. See, I want to be gentle. They had to pacify us. Okay. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Listen, baby doll, do not become vengeful. Do not become rageful. I need relief. Grant me a moment, my dear. I'm so sorry about that, but I really, Mama's gotta put something in this tummy. I burn a lot of calories during the day, so I need to replenish. Okay, so gentleness. Be kind to yourself. I'm feeling like we're hurt, we're harmed, and we're feeling a little bit rageful. I don't know. See, this is the thing. Like I've been dealing with my toxic traits since like October. I started a running regimen. I had all this spontaneous healing of trauma. Same thing happened a couple years back when I found out that I had a brain abscess and a traumatic brain injury and mold poisoning and la di da yada yada blah blah. Right. So, you know, I'm feeling very tender, very wounded because I kept running into situations that were clearly disrespectful, clearly harmful, and also other people were perceiving things um, in me that weren't entirely accurate, but I wasn't really showing up. I don't think I was able to. And it wasn't toxicity for me because I wasn't trying to harm, I wasn't trying to take. If I knew better, I would have done better. This is a person that's only doing better because they have to. Does that make sense? Meaning if the opportunity presented itself again to be evil and to not be caught or detected or discerned, they would probably choose that because they derive some kind of pleasure from harm. So we might be oscillating, vacillating, ruminating, marinating between love, hate, love, hate, love, hate, love, hate. You can only hate somebody if you love them, number one, because love and hate are on the same spectrum. Be gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environment. We're healing in some kind of way, but also them, this other person, this pendeja, they needed to pacify us. So that means we're more powerful than them. But see, we are more powerful than them and we're trying to love on them and they're a weak little bitch and they're trying to attack. I remember one time I was in middle school, so who knows how old I was because I skipped a lot of grades. I was one of those genius children. Again, poor social intelligence. Um, I don't know how old I was. I was younger than the average middle schooler. I got taken off a bike by a chihuahua, put it that way. Now, I was going pretty slow, and I remember when I would visit my best friend, she lived in the very next town over. It was like a 15-minute bike ride. We went to the same middle school. It was a gifted middle school, but she lived in the ghetto. It's okay. She was an immigrant. Her family was immigrated here. She was first generation. Anyways, long story short, Russian. Long story short, Beatichka. I remember her. I'll never forget her. Beatrice. Anyways, long story short, I come out of this alley and a chihuahua, mangy as a deranged chihuahua, straight up gets me by the ankle and I end up coming off this bike, like down. He took me down. And I felt so bad, but I had to pick that little thing up and punt it at the wall. I was just at the end of an alley, like coming back onto the street. So this little tiny thing took my big ass down. And at that time, at that age, I was a gymnast. So I'm into athletics, right? So it's reminding me of that. So we are this big, gentle giant. Maybe not in size and stature, like I'm pretty tiny. I'm 5'7", but I'm like 170 pounds because I'm 44% muscle mass. All right. So it's like something like that. It's like we might look weak and meek, but it's actually we're this great big person in our energy and our power, right? And this person might be scary looking, but they're weak. They're pussified. Okay. They're maricon, mariposa. Okay. I'm gonna have to say that. I had to let that out. Archangel Sandal Fun. Oh, okay. That's the spirit of Eve. Sandalphon. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environment. I'm getting Eve, Mama Chamba energy. Hmm. And then Archangel Chamuel. I don't work with him. Okay. Um, I don't work with him because I don't like knowing when something's being withheld from me. And this is that they kind of, when a blessing's about to come to you, this is the angel that makes sure you qualify. You know, like when you apply for a job, somebody calls around and makes sure that your degree is real and that you have all the work experience, etc. That's this angel. It also says like career transition, so it's funny. I didn't even read that. So that, I don't work with Channel a lot. I don't hate on the divine. Any of my brothers and sisters upstairs, I don't hate on them. But it's like if you're voodoo, it's the same thing. I like to use West African voodoo because it's universal. So like for me, for Twala in West Africa is who is Anubis in another culture, right? Or you know, Havioso here is Shango in Nigeria, is Thor in this culture, is Zeus in this culture, you know. The guy was talking about Anubis, he's in the Mayan culture, he's Zolo Chincho, right? Or, you know, whatever. So to me, the archangels are the Voodoo and the Voodoo are the archangels. I don't work with this one because I don't like being postponed. I don't like being delayed. I don't want some hoe blocking me. I hate cock block energy. I hate cock block energy. I hate it. So this is Captain Cock Block. I'm gonna say it. 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 This is Captain Cock Block. So so your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. This is true. This is true. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell all my business, but um, since October, my life has completely changed, and I'm seeing it with everybody. Okay, so we were blocked, and now we're coming. Okay, come undone. Yeah. Okay, we were. There's a peaches